Another one of Johnny Depp's buddies is Terry Richardson. Terry Richardson is a celebrity photographer who has taken disgusting pictures with probably every single mainstream celebrity on Earth. Outside, he's just a creepy photographer that just so happens to make over $60 million a year, but behind closed doors, Terry is a wicked creature who is sexually attracted to animals as well as children, who aids in trafficking, CP production, and the creation of blackmail material that keeps these unspeakable acts hidden. Terry is most definitely a creep, but he's a protected one as well, so only so much truth is permitted to bubble up to the surface. Once you begin researching these losers, you notice how they're all connected. I give Jesus Christ the glory, and I believe that God made me look this part up because it just popped into my mind to research. And it was one of those insistent thoughts, like God is telling you, like, you might want to look into this, you might want to look into this. I'm like, fine, it's probably not going to lead anywhere, but I'll look. And sure enough. I already knew Trump was a snake and a you-know-what-a-file, but it's good to find even more validation. Not like Trump's visits to Epstein Island wasn't enough already, but...
Oh, shut up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew well I was a snake before you took me in.
So there was a young lady that was working for the Trump modeling agency, and Terry Richardson's employee drugged this girl so that Terry could abuse her. While she was being abused, Terry's employees would crowd her so that she couldn't escape, all while they would be cheering and taking pictures of her abuse. This abuse occurred on 2 separate occasions. After the first time, she tried to tell the Trump modeling agency about the assault, and they told her to still keep her next appointment with him so she could be abused again. After the meeting, when she expressed her trepidation to her agents at Trump Model Management, the modeling agency founded in 1999 by now former President Donald Trump, and told them that Richardson had worn only a robe according to the lawsuit, they waved away her distress. Trump Model Management dismissed her concerns, telling her that such behavior was commonplace and that given Mr. Richardson's prominence and influence in the industry, Miss Portillo should overlook his behavior. What? So there's just more proof for you that Trump is a creep and somehow connected to all of this. Now back to Terry Richardson. Like I said, a lot of the truth exposing Terry has been scrubbed from the internet because he is a part of the so-called elite bloodline and is highly protected. However, I was able to find a sickening gold mine, which just so happens to be in the form of an online petition against Terry Richardson. The petition is called Big Brands, Stop Using Alleged Sex Offender and Pornographic Terry Richardson as Your Photographer. Vogue, H&M, Mango, Harper's Bazaar, Mercedes-Benz, Supreme, and all other brands, stop using alleged sex offender Terry Richardson as your photographer. More awareness needs to be brought to light that Terry Richardson is negatively influencing media with his supposed exploit and abuse of certain models, mainstream degrading pornographic imagery, and inappropriate and unprofessional behavior. His contribution to society has a bad impact as he is being exposed to the masses with the impression of being well received, while there are potentially unethical practices not being shown. Allegations and complaints have been publicized from the likes of Coco Rocha, Jamie Peck, and Danish supermodel Ryan Rasmussen against Richardson. Why, if we are aware of these allegations, are big companies still using Terry Richardson as a photographer and still giving him positive press if he is an alleged sex offender? These allegations need to be looked at more closely and the appropriate justice received. They should not be ignored. By continuing to employ him for editorial fashion shoots or to run advertising campaigns shot by him is to condone his behavior. Is this a replay of the Jimmy Savile case where we only take action once the offender has deceased? Action needs to be taken now. Surely big companies don't want to associate themselves with the accused. They do. In many of his images, Richardson has an amateur style of photography, including girls made to look underage, hurt, and exploited. We need to raise awareness and encourage these models to come forward. If these allegations are proven to be true, justice needs to be brought about. Terry Richardson has produced countless pornographic photographs. However, two that particularly stand out are one of a woman in a trash can giving Richardson a sexual favor as if to suggest she is garbage, and a picture of a woman giving Richardson a sexual favor with the word slut written across her forehead. Why are the big brands we buy from associating themselves with this kind of imagery? Oh, I'll tell you why, because they're all a bunch of creeps. This is the man who said, "It's not who you know, it's who you blow. I don't have a hole in my jeans for nothing." Ugh. Danish supermodel Rai Rasmussen confronted Richardson in Paris and said he abuses his position of power within the industry to sexually harass young women with impunity. Quote, "They are too afraid to say no because their agency booked them on the job and are too young to stand up for themselves. I told him, what you do is completely degrading to women. I hope you know you only blank girls because you have a camera, lots of fashion contacts, and get your pictures in Vogue." A supermodel named Jamie Peck wrote of an experience she had on a shoot with Richardson 6 years ago. When she said she wanted to keep her underwear on because she was menstruating, Peck says Richardson asked her to take out her tampon so he could play with it and make tampon tea. He insisted on being called Uncle Terry, of course, and during their shoot, Richardson unexpectedly stripped naked. Before I could say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa," dude was wearing only his tattoos and waggling the biggest dick I'd ever seen dangerously close to my unclothed person. Granted, I hadn't seen very many yet. In Peck's words, Richardson eventually maneuvered her over to the couch in his studio, where he strongly suggested I touch his terrifying penis. When he ejaculated, one of his assistants gave Peck a towel. One fashion insider says agencies know full well Richardson's predatory behavior, but that he is tolerated because the industry folk are just sheep. There are only a handful of photographers who have the power, a handful of editors who have the power, and a handful of clients who have the power. Everyone else just follows this small group of people. This exploitation is not right and shouldn't be considered a normal part of society. Why has Richardson photographed someone as prestigious as Obama when he has these kinds of allegations behind him and such explicit photographs including himself being filleted? Is this the kind of image Obama wants to associate himself with? I have dozens of pictures saved of him having sex with models, models filleting him, Richardson ejaculating on models. We need these images in the public eye for big brands to realize what they are associating themselves with, let alone Barack Obama, who Richardson shot. Richardson also promoted unprotected sex in these pictures. Terry's explicit images have been published in his own book, Terry World Artist Edition. The blurb of this book on Amazon states, "Who took 1990s porn aesthetic and made it into fashion chic? Terry Richardson. Who made the trailer park trendy and the tractor hat de rigueur? Richardson again. Who's equally at home in Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, Purple, and Vice? Our boy Terry." Who... Sorry. Who uses his fashion money to fund an X-rated website? Yes, Richardson. And who can't resist getting his clothes off and jumping in front of his own lens? Well, that would be Terry Richardson as well. Porn stars, supermodels, transsexuals, hillbillies, friends, pets, and celebrities all do for his lens what they'll do for no other. And if anyone ever wonders why they did it, just blame it on Terry World, where taboos are null and void, and fashion finds sex a perfect fit. Quotes from Terry. "A lot of it starts with me saying to a girl, 'Do you want to do nudes?' And they're like, 'I don't want to be naked,'" said Mr. Richardson. "So I say, 'I'll be naked and you take the pictures. You can have the camera. You can have the phallus.' Everyone, including the assistants, was always armed with a camera." In November 2012, Bruce Willis's and Demi Moore's daughter, Scout, tweeted that, Last night, Terry Richardson tried to finger me. I didn't let him, obviously, but I did let him photograph me topless in the bathroom. It's about creating a vibe, getting people relaxed and excited. When that happens, you can do anything. It's not who you know, it's who you blow. I don't have a hole in my jeans for nothing. This man creates degrading and explicit porn, yet he is still cashing in. He made over $60 million last year. This was back in like 2013. Richardson is the Jimmy Savile of the photography world. Everyone knows, nobody talks.